Reverend Rob Lee. Bold, smart, and straight to the point. This is Tarot with an Attitude.
There we go. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Tarot with an Attitude. I am your host, Reverend Rob Lee, and we have the wonderful Miss Brigitte Meesmer from Brigitte at eyesofthedragonfly.com. We figured we'd get together tonight and really throw a rock and roll tarot party, okay, on the full moon eve. How are you tonight, Miss Brigitte?
I'm good. How about you?
I am good.
A little bit of a long day, but I'm good.
A little bit of a long day, yeah. So, want to welcome everybody in and say hi.
Work was very busy.
Yeah, mine was just kind of hectic all morning, and then in the afternoon, I just kind of hit a wall. But we're up, we're alive, we're good, and everything's happening. Hey, a little bit of reminder, August 3rd, I'm going to be live at Off Cabot, okay, in Beverly, Massachusetts. And guess who's going to come up and be visiting? Miss Brigitte and Mr. Bruce will be there. So come up. If y'all can get into the New England area for August 3rd, man, come check it out. It's going to be fun. In-person live readings, VIP tickets, and everything are on sale right now. And we're just going to have a great time. And the VIP tickets include an after the show down in the Grave Room. We're going to do a little group get together and a group reading. So welcome, everybody. And so, Miss Bridget, you got anything going on that you want to talk about, or just how people can get hold of you?
Yeah. I mean, you can go to my website, which is www.eyesofthedragonfly.com. And I don't really have a whole lot going on. We got a full moon tomorrow. We've got
I want to talk about
stuff
that
going on today, but nothing as exciting as you, Mr. Rob.
There we go. That's right. It's not a party till the Rev gets there, So let's see what happens. But welcome, everybody. Good evening. Let's get this started tonight right. Our most gracious and loving Heavenly Father, the Divine Mother, Spirit guides, that Divine Feminine. First and foremost, we are asking for a light of protection around each and every one here, around this room, around everybody that's involved, whether they come or go. Nothing is allowed to come through this that is not of the light of you, of and for someone's higher good. Next, please make sure that any messages that come through, that we allow you to speak to us and we hear your voice and not ours. So with all that being said, let the light shine. Angels draw close, move around, fly around the room. Let everybody know you're there. Let them feel your presence. Spirit guides as well. So mote it be. So, a couple things here real quick. And Miss Holly, I see you're in the room. And I had posted a thing about some questions, about if anybody had any questions. And Holly posted some questions that I think are going to be really cool. But first, I want to talk about tomorrow night, as Gillian had said and put in the room, is the full moon. Full moon. It's the buck moon, if I've got that right. Am I correct on that, Miss Bridget? You're locking up. Are you there? Uh-oh. I may have lost Bridget.
Can you hear me? I'm having some Wi-Fi issues here.
Yeah, no, I got you now. Yep.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, I'm having some Wi-Fi. I can hear you.
Okay. All right.
No, you just went dead.
Okay. Yeah, something's going on with your Wi-Fi. I don't know what's happening. What we're talking about here is chime in when you can hear, when you can't. Let's see what's going on. Tomorrow night is the buck moon for July. They call it the buck moon. This is the time when when the deer start bringing their new antlers. They're coming into rut. Things are happening. And that's how the Indians first referred to this as the buck moon. It was that time of year. So you'll start seeing deer with antlers. So the ironic part is things are coming in. One of the things you want to focus on in a full moon, and it's a great time, and Bridget, if you hear me and can chime in, please do so. What we want to talk about here is it's a great time to let some things go. And I know Bridget had talked about some different rituals or candle magic or different things you can do for that. And Bridget, if you can hear me, if you want to jump in, go right ahead.
Yeah, some of the things I do, the full moon for me is definitely a let go. What do I want to release to the universe? And as I, as I sit down, I will make a list of things that I want to release. And it could be anything. It could be, just maybe some thought processes, stuff I've outgrown in my thinking, or maybe even sometimes there are people or relationships that I want to release, and I do that. And I'll take a candle. A white candle is good for anything, but if you look on the web, there are different color candles that are good for different specific things that you want. I have a book up here. I have this book. It's called Candle Magic, and it tells you what all the colors correspond to with how you're going to, whether it's financial or health or relationship or whatever. There's a candle for that. What I'll do is I'll write down all those things on like a sticky note or something, and I'll dress a candle maybe with there's so many things you can do with some herbs or some essential oils or something like that. You don't have to. It's all what makes you feel like what feels good to you. You can put crystals around it. You can put no crystals around it. You don't have to even light a candle. Sometimes people just write down their intentions and meditate on them. I'll set mine on fire and throw it. I have a little cauldron, a little cast iron cauldron. It's probably this big. I'll light it on fire, throw it in the cauldron, let it burn. When it's done, I'll take the ashes outside and let the wind take them. So there's a bunches of things you can do. That's
going to be what Gillian and I do tomorrow night. We like to get outside in the full moons. We haven't done it in a while, especially up here. It can get so cold a lot of times. But we're going to get outside. I want to get barefoot. And it's one of those things where it's not even so much she will put out to universe, to spirit, to the God, the goddess, whatever it is, she will put out what she wants to let go of. I will be doing the same thing. And sometimes we share, sometimes we don't share. Then we'll do that and say, what do we want to do as a couple? Okay. What do we see as a couple? And that's very strong, and it helps a relationship when y'all can talk like that and be out. But I like to be in the moon. And that is the other thing, is some of the things we want to let go of personally. We like to light them on fire, the paper on fire, do it safely, got to do that in today's world. Be safe. All right. No Beavis and Butthead here. It's one of those things where it's very liberating. And this is about releasing things. And what you're doing is setting your intention to get rid of some dead wood in your life so new things can come in. And that, what Bridget's talking about, is setting your intentions, is naming some of those things you want to come in. So I find that very, very powerful. I love the candle idea. I'm going to show you, Bridget, while you were talking, I pulled some cards. Okay. Imagine that. All right. And, this was very interesting to me about what to do with this full moon, the buck full moon, everything. Now it's going to be in its peak at 4:37 in the afternoon. So it's going to take a little while for it to become visible. Okay. But when you do, and what's the first thing we have here? We have the 17 and we have the star came up. And I think that's just absolutely amazing. When you look in the back, the star is there. And look at what she's doing. She's pouring things out. A lot of times I see, different things being filled up, but she's releasing things. She's letting things go and looking up. By letting some things go and moving things in, you get the healing. We got the 7 of Wands. That's that time to stand up. Notice instead of swords or wands or knives or anything else, we have carrots here. It's time to say, this is what I want to get rid of. This is what I need to do. And take a look internally at what's going to manifest best for you. What do you want to hang on to? What do you need to hang on to? And what do you need to let go? And then finally, ultimately, and I think this is very important, I'd like to hear your opinion on it, okay? One of the important things is when you're in this full moon mode and you're doing this, it's about you or about the person that's with you. You cannot release stuff for another person. Does that make sense, Bridget?
Right.
And
absolutely, you cannot.
Yeah, so don't waste the energy. This is a time to think of you and take care of you. That was the important thing. So, I know a lot of people out there with kids and grandkids and things like that, and we spend this energy. That's not what this is about. This is about you, okay? And it's time to make that focus for you, for your better good and things like that. Because after all, when we thrive, generally then our family thrives. Right. So, I think that's very important. So, Gillian, if anybody's got any questions, I'm in the other little side room so I can see when somebody's got a question. But, Brigitte, anything else you want to add to that?
No, I don't think so. I think I want to stress that there is no wrong way to do it. For me, it's all about intention. I just, whatever is good for you is whatever you feel like you need to do. If lighting a candle is not your bag, then don't do it. If setting stuff on fire is not your thing, don't do it. If you want to meditate instead, do that. If you want to journal instead, do that. But don't feel like, well, in order for me to succeed at this, I have to do it this way because Brigitte does it this way or Rob does it this way or whatever. I use candlelight and fire because I believe that fire is the quickest way to get the message into the universe. So
I love
it. It's all about your intention, how you feel, what you think, what you believe, and what feels right to you. That's really just what I want to stress. That when we talk about these things, this is what works for us, and you're welcome to try it. But if something else works for you, then by all means, do that.
And if you don't know what works for you because you're new at this or you're trying this or whatnot, start. You can mix what Brigitte and I do. You can do anything. Start, but then let that intuition talk to you. Okay? There was a period of time where Gillian and I did special things under the full moon. Okay? But we were in a place where we could. And it was one of those things, nothing crazy, nothing, but there were different things we would do, dance, whatever. And it's some of those things that you have to talk to yourself. New moons, different things, whole different energy, different settings. And Brigitte is absolutely right. You have to take time, okay? So learn this and learn what feels right to you. Say a prayer. If you still want to say a good Christian prayer to God, what better prayer to the Christian God of, God, what am I hanging on to that you need me to let go of?
Right. Yes, give me some direction. How can I let go of whatever this thing is that I really am ready and want to release? Show me signs, show me the way. Give me synchronicities, do whatever it is. But
give me signs, things like that. And that's going to give me, and we've got some people ask some questions. We're going to get to you in just a minute. But one of the things, This right here, when we talk about signs, show me different things, might be a good time to talk about Holly's first question that she sent to me in email or was on Facebook. When spirits reveal themselves to you, what do you do? You know, Bridget and I were we talked about the question beforehand and we were kind of laughing, but this is another one of those things where it's individualized. If it's never happened to you before, it can be quite startling. You can start second guessing yourself. You can, and you'll tell yourself later, that wasn't true or whatnot. I just wanted to see Uncle Jim. Okay. I wanted to see grandma or whatnot. So my mind brought them forward. One of the first things, and I'll let Bridget add on to this, and I'm going to pull some cards on this too. One of the things I want you to realize, one of the first things you should do is acknowledge that presence. Take a minute, breathe, acknowledge the presence. But then you want to, how can I say this? You want to make sure that what's presenting itself is that person and not something taking that person's likeness or disguise. Ask it questions that only you and them would know the answer to. All right. Different things like that. If they leave and if they start fading in and out, when you start really pushing, then it's time to step back and let go. But the other thing is to make sure you know exactly who or what you're talking to, especially if it is an unknown spirit. When you started this, just like we do, did you start with a prayer? Did you put circle of protection around you? Light, things like that. So while I'm shuffling some cards, Miss Bridget, what do you have to say about that question?
I was laughing because Bruce and I have a code word and only we know it. And we talked about, how do I know it's you? How can, if I'm at a medium and they're telling me that Bruce has come through, how do I know it's you? So we picked a word that nobody, it's just a normal word, but it's not an accidental word.
Right.
You have to, it's a word that in a normal conversation,
it ain't coming up without intent.
Not coming up. Right. Yeah, exactly. So we have a word, but one of the things I want to say too is, when spirits reveal themselves to you, what do you do? Do you want them to? Is this something you want? Because if it's not,
that's pretty good. You
have the right to say, I don't want this. I have no, you don't have permission. I do not want this communication. And you can, for all intent and purpose, just shut down that medium connection and just no. You can say no. I refuse to acknowledge it. I refuse to engage in it. I refuse to do whatever. So that's if you don't want it. But if you do want it, I think like Rob said, approach it with a little bit of caution. I am not a medium, but I have had experiences where I have communicated via dreams, just all of a sudden hearing something, and you know what I mean? But I am not a medium. And I don't really see spirits unless I'm sleeping. But my first heavy experience when I was first starting to develop my abilities or whatever it is you want to call it, I was in my living room sleeping on the couch. I fell asleep watching TV and I heard somebody go, "Brigitte!" And I was like, whoa. And I thought it was Bruce. I thought he was trying to wake me up to get me off the couch to go into the bedroom to go to sleep. And I sat bolt upright and I'm like, what the it yelled, "Brigitte!" I was like, holy shit. and I'm looking around and there is nobody. And Bruce is dead asleep in the other room. It's not like he ran out, screamed at me, and ran back into the bedroom. He was like out cold. And it was disconcerting. And I had to I had to sit back and go, all right, you know what? This is not the best way to communicate with me.
Yeah.
So me sleeping is off limits. Like screaming in my face when I'm sleeping is off limits. That is a no-go.
Right.
You know what I mean? In the bathroom is a no-go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Obstructing my view when I'm driving is a no-go. Like I have to set, like, okay, we have ground rules here that we have to abide by. But if that's something that's happening, my advice also is there are places now where you can go, where there are people who can help you develop that, help you get in touch with it, help you to, not feel so out of control with it.
Right.
And,
do your research before you touch them too, because you don't need somebody faking it and giving you wrong information or whatnot. So
usually typically I've noticed there's like in most towns or cities or whatever, there's one really good juju store where they have some psychic development classes. They have some, learn how to read tarot card classes and stuff like that. There's a plethora of information online, but you can't believe everything you read, right?
Right. Yep, exactly. All right, Gillian, if you take that down, I'm going to bring some cards up here real quick. And then we're going to go to Yachty and Samantha. And then Jolie, we're there. Glad to see y'all here. First off, everybody, make sure you're hitting the subscribe button, hitting the like button. In the link below is a tip jar. You do not have to use it. It was requested at popular demand, so I put it in there. Anything you give, it's on your heart. It's appreciated. But hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. That's going to help me huge and help us with the show as we move forward, as this thing's growing, and it's really growing. I'm going to show you some cards here that helps if I hit the right button. Wow, that was scary. Okay, now, when a spirit comes around, all right, and it finally introduces yourself, you're trying to figure it out. One of the things, and what I'm really picking up here, to really follow up with what Brigitte said, what I said, is a contemplation. All right. This is trying to get to a different level. This could be a turning point for you or change. Do you have to make that? But I want you to contemplate and make sure that what you're seeing is real. Talk to people, talk to other friends. Well, how does it make you feel? Nobody popping in on you like that's weird or whatnot. If you're getting weird vibes from it, you got to go with that. Anybody that's coming in for your own better good, things like that, should always be coming in and making you feel like warm, fuzzy, comfortable. Okay? It's very important that you understand that. But then you need to take some time and just contemplate what happened. Contemplate those feelings. Contemplate what you saw. It is to sit still, be quiet. And I think what Brigitte said answers the first major question is, you got to find out for yourself, do you want it to continue? Because you can close that right down. Okay? So there we go. That's that question. We'll get to more of them. She's got two more up here. But let's get to some people that are asking some questions. Hey, Rob. Reverend Rob, honestly, I'm not excited about this potential job. Well, Yachty, then go back to what I told you when we first started talking about your job. You don't have to take the first thing that pops up. Are you getting into that place where you feel like you do? Okay. And that's the thing. Don't let yourself get there. Allow things to flow or whatnot. Will my first interview go great with Bruce and Friday? Please and thank you. All right. since we did the pendulum course on Saturday. If y'all want to know more about pendulums, I got more pendulums out here. I never put them up. Go back, look at Saturday's live show, and we did a whole lot about pendulums, tarot, and things like that. You're going to love it. Okay? So, Brigitte, you go with that one on your first, and let's see what's happening. Will her first interview go great with Bruce?
Yeah, I'm getting a yes. Pretty definitive. This one's swinging pretty hard.
We get a lot of yeses when she's asking about these questions. I don't think the problem is coming in the interviews. One of the things is, I don't know how old you are, okay? But I'm going to say this. The older you get, with the more experience you have, Gillian, myself, with a lot of experience in a couple of different fields, all right? It becomes harder and harder to find a job. I'm being told to tell you this, okay? Because somebody younger will do it cheaper, all right? Somebody younger is going to be around longer, and if the boss is younger, you don't pose a threat to the boss, okay? It's one of those things where experience starting out is awesome. As you get older, as you age, I'm being told maybe downplay yourself a little bit. Own it. Know what you're doing. If you have an answer, don't oversell. That's what I'm really picking that up, because this could be something that's going on where the boss is going in, but he's going to a panel of people going, this person was awesome, great interview. But if you got two youngins in there that are afraid of you coming in and stepping over them, okay, or having better and brighter ideas and being able to fix a situation they couldn't, they will feel threatened. Okay. And that very well, I'm really picking that up, could be playing a part. So I'm gonna draw some cards, because I think every time we talk about the interviews do go very well. I think there's a third matter in here that keeps sticking its ugly head in and saying, that's interfering or whatnot. So make sure that you are holding to what you want, holding to what you do. And I know what you're talking about when you say that in behavioral health, man, that field, been there, done that. That can be a draining field. It can make you tired. All right. So, all right, let me pull up some cards here real quick. Just find out what's going on. And the first card I have here is the Sun. So in your question, everything's looking good. You show as a perfect candidate. All right. But there's some things that people are having a hard time putting down to let somebody new come in. And I think that's the biggest thing. Make sure you know something is fixing to turn for you, and this is fixing to turn for the better. But you're carrying a lot of weight. Let that weight go. Just let it go. All right. The Knight of Coins, I see that eventually you're going to be charging ahead and everything's going to be fine. This is the Knight of Coins. People are dying to get their hands on you, but sometimes now with your experience and with the way you interview and things like that, they honestly don't know what to do with you. Okay. It comes out almost like overqualified, but you have to be careful. All right. This is what I'm saying. So talk to Spirit about when you go into this interview about, is this something that's going on? And ask them to make sure that they're not only guiding you, but guiding the person that's doing the interview. Does that make sense? So we will see. All right. So good luck. Let's find out what's happening. Keep us posted. You're going to do awesome, and you're going to get it. It's just going to be tougher and tougher. Okay. So I hate to tell you that, but that's the way it is.
I did pull the Three of Cups.
Okay.
So maybe there's some people you're not reaching out to that can help you. That you maybe you should within your group. I'm getting that, but I'm also getting the other people are involved. So
that's why I keep picking up a third party comes in.
I got the whole I think it's like a dual message for the cup. Like, hey, reach out into your group of people and see, just mention it. See if somebody's got something going on there. But also, yeah, there's some others, because I also got the Seven of Swords. So to me, the Seven of Swords is shenanigans, right? There's some kind of a shifty business going on. And the Queen of Wands, which you said overqualified, and I started laughing because I just as you're saying overqualified, I flipped the Queen of Wands and was like, there you go.
People are afraid of you, Yachty. And as bad as I say it, they're also afraid of not just you, but a powerful woman who knows what they're doing, things like that. The call center gig, having spent years in a call center, a lot of that's predominantly female driven. It was when I got into it. I don't know if it is now. Okay. So you might look more towards that aspect, but you're still dealing with that third party of, oh crap, with that Seven of Swords, that to me is always somebody's coming in underneath you and cutting your feet out from underneath you. That's
business. Something happening behind your back, definitely. Or the other thing I could think of is with the Three of Cups and the Seven of Swords is somebody's not really your friend. You know what I mean?
There's somebody that's down listed as a referral, a last job contact, or something like that you think is either not. They always say, "Oh, we'll never say. We'll just confirm whether you're hired, or whether you were hired, or and that you're no longer here." But is there somebody in that you might try revising your contact list? Okay, and maybe even your referrals. Just saying, okay? But it does. It feels like there's been too many great things coming here. But I watched my daughter go through the same thing, too, in Colorado, where she was qualified. She's 40, okay? But everybody kept saying, oh, you're great, you're great, you're great. And some of it is these people don't want to be honest with you and say, yeah, you're too old. You're too qualified, okay? They don't want the argument. They don't want the confrontation. We'll be getting back with you, and then you just never hear from them again.
Right.
And it's funny. I know somebody I'll say it. One of my boys applied for a job. Okay. He's got security clearance where he was actually working in NORAD. Okay. So, you don't get much higher than that. And one of the jobs turned him down because they were like, oh, something we don't trust this, that, or the other. And he's like, the government trusts me with nukes, but you don't trust me with whatever stupid. Bottom line is, and I told him, I said, they don't understand. They've got somebody else, a friend, a buddy, a family member that they want to put in instead of you. And they're just trying to find a way to sneak it through. So just be aware that's what's going on. Okay. And she says, I really appreciate this safe place. You are very, very welcome. We're glad you're here, and thank you for being a part. Samantha, I would like to know, what kind of partner am I attracting? It's a very good question. That's a very good question. I would ask you, what are you concentrating on? What are you trying to build? Where are your thoughts going? Okay. And that might be the problem. What's your intent on the relationship? What are you looking for? So, but I'm going to ask the question straight up. What kind of partner is Samantha attracting? I think that's a fair question. Okay. Let's see what's going on. All right. I'm going to do this. Get some things kind of cleaned up here.
Okay. I have 2 cards if you're good with that.
Go right ahead.
Okay.
Go right ahead.
I didn't ask what kind of partner is Samantha attracting. I asked, what does Samantha need to know about the partners she's attracting? Like, what does she need to know about herself? And I've got the High Priestess and Temperance. So I think that you're attracting people who are who are not very forthcoming. They're keeping everything sort of bottled up, locked in, and you're not really getting 100% of and that's what this High Priestess is telling me. You're not really, they're keeping everything locked up. And with the Temperance card, I'm getting that you need to kind of work on some balance in yourself so that you're not pulling in these, I guess, emotionally unavailable people, is for lack of a better term.
You need to make yourself emotionally available as part of it. And you know, there's more than just saying, I just want to, I'm emotionally available because I want to give my love to somebody. Well, that's not all there is to it. When you're done, let me know, because you're going to crack up when you see these cards again.
Go ahead.
No, okay. First card out of the gate, the Hierophant. Okay. Yeah. All right. Next card, King of Swords. And then the Queen of Coins. What you're attracting right now, to me, this is the way I'm reading it. I'm getting goosebumps. You're attracting very controlling, ritualistic people that are only concerned with themselves. All right. So I would ask you what's going out that would be what's happening. Are you making yourself bait? Are you not holding yourself to a higher standard? Is there something here that you need to learn that this control thing, mind games? Now, I don't know if I'm reading a past boyfriend or whatnot here, but this is very strong, these two, about structured, regimented, everything's logical, there's no emotion, all of this. But then when we get over here, what I'm really picking up, Samantha, and I think I've told you this before, is it's time for you to learn to take care of you. All right? Be happy, involved, be light, do the things you like to do. Stop trying to attract and go be. And once you be, then other things will come in. Right now, I feel like you're kind of making yourself a target. All right? And I don't think you mean to. But I think that's very, very important that that's what's going on. That's what I see. So stop, think, kick back. You've got a lot to offer, okay? But stop worrying about everybody else so much. What I need to be, where I need to show. How do I get this right guy? How do I get this person? All right. Remember the name of the show, all right? Knock that shit off. All right. It's one of those things where seriously, sit down, look at yourself and say, I'm a gift. Whoever gets me is blessed. You need to take the time to sit back, take the monkey off your back of worrying about it, drink from the glass, see things. And this is in the real world. Start taking care of yourself in this real world and making your own powerhouse person so this personality comes through. And once that comes through, you're going to break this energy bond or whatever it is you've got, and you're going to open up to all new people. Okay? So I don't mean that to be too straightforward. You know I love you, okay? But it is at some point, you keep doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. We call that insanity, okay? And you can do it. You're going to have to figure out how you got to change this pattern. So maybe the next time you come on, let's ask the question about Rob. Okay, how do I change the pattern of who I am? And let's take a look at it. Does that make sense?
Shadow work, man. It sucks.
Oh, it sucks so bad.
Tough, man. It hurts, and you feel terrible until you finally it clicks. Oh, I do these things. I am this way because of this or this or this, right? And that's what happens. Shadow work sucks.
Yep. It sure does. There's a reason it's called shadow work. You're getting into that darker self, not evil, but that side of ourselves that we don't like and we don't
that
face.
we don't like.
Yeah. So, Jolie, we're going to get you right here. Holly, hang in there. Your next question is, when you're able to sense things in the spiritual world, how do you handle it? And you know what? That's a great question. I want to get to that next. Let's do, Jolie's been patient. Let's see what we've got going on here. Hello, everyone. I would love a reading around whatever I need to know for this next phase of life. What a great question. And I just got told, man, I'm being pulled to another deck. And I'm trying to make sure. Huh?
I just picked up a different deck
too.
too.
Yeah, this like sucks. Like my left hand's vibrating and I can't. Yeah. All right. I got to do it. All right. I got to try it. We'll see what happens if I misread it, but I'm getting the whole goosebumps, duck walked across, the vibrations and everything else. So, Jolie, let's see what the answer to this question is. Spirit, please come through. Make sure it's known. She's asking a fair question. What does she need to know to be ready for the next phase of her life? We're not predicting the future. We're telling you how to bet. Spirit's going to tell you how to best prep yourself for the next phase of your life's journey. And I think that's a great question.
Yeah.
So,
but I've got Queen of Wands, the Empress, and the Three of Cups. So
Queen of Wands, Empress. Wow, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's actually really good. Very creative. I think it just in your next phase of I think based on these cards coming up in your next phase of life, you're going to be focusing on creating something that you're passionate about and happy, and you're going to be sharing it with people that you love, friends. I don't know, maybe you're an artist, maybe you're going to focus on that. But definitely I've got creation and passion and just celebration.
Absolutely. It's funny that you should say that. Look at what I got, Brigitte. This is really cool. Jolie, y'all are getting some strong readings tonight, whether you know it or not. Brigitte and I are going to be laughing about how some of this came up later. Okay. We have the Tower. You talk about the next phase of your life. There's some changes that are coming. You're going to have to see and work through some changes. One of the things is determining, where do you want to go? Asking that question. What do I want to be when I grow up? That kind of thing. Where does your heart want to take you? And it's time, what Spirit needs you to know is it's time to stop getting sidetracked by life, by people, by different things. And this Chariot is reigning in. When you look at 1 and 6, 1 is a new beginning, 6 is a breakthrough, it's a victory. But bring them together, you have a 7. What's a 7? Stand up, be counted, be grateful. Look at what's happening. These are where, don't take action. Start looking at what you have that you can be grateful for. And then lo and behold, we whip over here right to another 7, okay? Which is the Chariot. These two cards are both major arcana cards, saying this is a major whack in the head by Spirit going, look, pay attention. You have to know where you want to go. What do you want to do? What do you want to build? And stay focused on that and stop letting people pull you or work pull you or different things pull you off the course of where you need to be going. Ultimately, the 3 of Earth, 3 of Pentacles. There are people around you that are there for a purpose, okay? And you're going to need to work with these people. And this is how you're going to build something beautiful. But stop going to what they're trying to create. And you need to look for people that are trying to create what you want to create. And when you get those people together in your life, man, you're going to make wonderful things happen. And that's what I'm picking up is if you will stay focused, keep moving on, Spirit will put the right people in your path. that will help you along your journey. And again, I'm reminded of that one phrase from Jim Croce's song, if you're going my way, I'll go there too. More the merrier. But I'm not leaving my path for your journey. That's what I have. So back around on that one.
I think it's interesting. We both picked well, we got cards that dealt with collaboration and teamwork, and the Three of Cups, the Three of Pentacles. I'm looking. She said she's in the process of building a new business.
Okay.
So
get all these people. You got to do this. You got to do this. You got to do this. Shut up. Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? You take those steps forward. You focus where you want to go, and the right people will be brought into your path to help you make it. That's what I'm really feeling. So, wow, bang right. Brigitte, that's crazy.
It always works like that.
Yeah, doesn't it? Doesn't it?
We always are surprised. You were doing it for years and years, and we're always surprised.
Always.
Guys, believe me, like when the reality hits us that oh, hey, this is really real. Like we know that it's really real, but when it really hits us, it kind of leaves you in awe. Even Rob and I are like, wow, that is it's wild how it just sinks together.
Absolutely. So we're
and
tuned in, Spirit's talking, and there's the connection. So folks, listen to these readings tonight so far. This is crazy. And even the fact that you changed decks and I changed decks without even talking, it's just crazy.
And the thing is we're what, 2,100 miles apart? I mean, it's not like you're in this room and I'm in this room, and we are far, far away from each other.
Yeah, we're thousands of miles away right now. 1,000 plus, let's put it that way.
I thought it's like 2,100 miles, right? I thought, or maybe a little less. I can't remember.
Yep, absolutely. Juliana, hey guys, I want a message from my soulmate and want to know, my coffee. Want to know if I will meet him this year. I'm going to start with this. We'll pull cards, and if you want to do pendulums, we can do pendulums. All right, could you ask the yes or no question? What are you doing to prepare yourself to meet your soulmate? Folks, finding that right, asking Spirit, the minute you involve Spirit in bringing you your soulmate, your split apart, any of those different things, star-crossed lovers, any of that, what you have to ask yourself, have you prepared yourself emotionally, mentally, for Spirit to be able to bring that gift to you? If you haven't met them, sometimes it's not looking at what Spirit's doing. It's looking at what have I got to fix within myself. And we're back to that shadow work. Okay. Are you happy?
You're going to laugh when you see what came up.
Go ahead. I haven't even started shuffling yet. So
Page of Cups, Tower, Ace of Swords. And then just now the sun fell out. Okay. So yeah, I mean, it definitely, with the Page of Cups and the Tower, there's something that you've got to work on. There's something you've got to let go. It's a thought process or an attitude or something that says you are not ready. You want to be, you're eager to be, but this Page of Cups is a very sort of young energy that indicates that you're just not quite there yet. And the Ace of Swords tells me, once you get there, once you let that tower fall and you figure out what it is, then you'll get this inspiration, this new thing will come into your world, and the sun will, it's going to bring you happiness. But yeah, definitely, there's definitely something within you that that you kind of need to work on and let go of.
All right, I'm going to here we go. Now, y'all were watching me shuffle. I hadn't even done anything yet when Brigitte was talking, okay? We actually have a duplicated card here, all right? One of the things I got is the Ten of Air, followed by the Ace of Air, which is the Ace of Swords, and it's the Ten of Swords.
Wow.
What I'm really getting, Juliana, for you to meet this person, I changed the question because Brigitte answered it straight up, bang. I didn't think I needed to reiterate. And when I was sitting there, I asked a different question. There's something about yourself mentally you're not ready for a soulmate relationship yet, okay? The Ten of Air is saying it's time to let something, either old past go, something, old thoughts, old ways of thinking, old ways of communicating. It's time to let that go, okay? It doesn't always work. If you want something new, you've got to start thinking in new ways. You've got to have a different mentality. You've got to communicate differently. This is all, the first two cards here are in the same suit and in your head. It's communication and conscious thought. That's what air is. And I want you to see, they want to bring this in, but you have to let go of an old way of thought, some old way of thinking. At that point, once you are in control of your life, you literally become the emperor of your life. That's when things are going to happen, and that's when things are going to open, and you're going to meet the true lion of your life, your lioness, okay? I firmly believe this. One of the things is young people always want to, I think I said this not too long ago. I want you to stay with me for a minute, Juliana, okay? I'm not sure how old you are, but I don't care if you're 40, okay? When you are 40, you have a way of thinking. Is that way of thinking, your ideas, thought processes, the way you process things, the same as when you were 30? Probably not. When you were 30, you had a whole load of different things, but you thought when you were 20, you had all the answers, and you don't. This is maturing. These are realizing that, oh, you know what? One of the key things I learned about anybody that wants to be a master, you will generally find them always studying their craft, studying their art, because you never stop learning. Life never stops teaching. And there's some process in your head, not your heart. Notice nothing came up here about your heart, but that page comes up with an immaturity thing, okay? It always comes with a twofold. And that's one of the things here is the Ten of Air. We got to let old crap go in our head. It's your head, I think, that needs to get unwound about ideals. And then spirit and will help you and your soulmate find each other. But this is what's important. Get out of your head. All right. Restop, rethink, sit down. And when was the last time you sat down and said a prayer to Spirit, said, Spirit, show me? This could be a good segue into Holly's next question. Okay. Spirit, show me, teach me what I need to know. Okay. What do I need to change? And then don't be surprised when it hits you in the face like a 2x4. Okay. Does that make sense? So that's, so Holly's second question is, Gillian, if you take that question down, I'd appreciate it. When you're able to sense things in the spiritual world, how do you handle it? Move slow. Grace, ease. A lot of this goes into what we were talking about before. How do you want to handle it?
Yeah.
What do you want to do? The minute I have somebody tell me your dad's here talking to you, I'm like, no. Now, at one point, Brigitte said my dad was jerking me around or trying to get me to see something. That I could see, but no, because I'm not ready for it. I don't know if I'll ever be ready to talk to my father again. Okay. There's just some old things that physically and mentally in this human world, I don't want to deal with it. Not going to deal with it. I love him. Will always love him. Know that ultimately he had my best task. But these are things that you have to realize. Do I want to deal with it? How do I deal with it? Where am I at emotionally if this person pops into your life to say, hey, the first thing you have to do is sit back and say, am I prepared to deal with this? Is this coming in going to take me off track, or is it going to keep me on track? All right. And that's one of the things I really feel you have to remember. And I would say the same thing to Jolie. You have to sit back and look and constantly question, constantly look and say, and see what happens. Sometimes the messages aren't clear. Sometimes we just need to see people from our past. All right. Because there might be some unresolved issues that we're not dealing with yet. Okay. To make us ready to move on. And by them appearing, sometimes it's just a reminder of, oh, okay. Or have I grieved fully yet? Have I closed out a bad relationship? Any of these type of things. It could be, I've seen angry, mad spirits where it's like a whirlwind. It's so frenetic. And some of it is I found out they didn't even know they were dead yet. So this is some of the things you have to be ready to do. Ask them right off the bat, have they crossed over? If they have not crossed over, you need to tell you what, I love you, would love to see you cross over, go to the creator power or whatnot. You can choose to come back to me and then come back as my spirit guide or whatnot. But that way you're making sure there's that connection on a higher level and you're protecting yourself and them. What do you think, Brigitte?
I'm going to come at it from a different angle.
Go right ahead.
So when I read this, I think my spidey senses are tingling. And you know what that means for me.
Yes.
When my spidey senses tingle, I'll call and and I laugh. I use that term because everybody understands mostly what that is. Mostly everybody. Yeah. But I will get a feeling that something is happening with somebody I know or somebody I care about, or something is happening in a situation that I'm getting involved in, whether it's a work situation or a financial situation, whatever it is, I'll get this feeling, and I'll look at Rob, and I have called him and said, Rob, my spidey senses are tingling. What is going on in your world? Is everything okay? And he'll be like, funny you should ask.
Yeah.
I would say 8 times out of 10, I will get the funny you should ask, or isn't it interesting that you reached out to me today? Or like I'll be full on with like a collaboration or something. It drives Bruce crazy. And I'll be all in it. And then I'm not. And it's because something happened. Like I just got this sense that, you know what, you need to put the brakes on. Not everything is what you think it should be. This is so when I get that, I listen to those sort of intuitive gut punches and stuff. And I will sit down and I will say, all right, is this really something that's coming to me intuitively? Or is this just maybe my anxiety playing on me or something? And I'll sit with it for a little bit. But if it keeps eating away at me and chewing away at me, typically I know it's an intuitive thing. And if I wake up every morning and I say to myself, gee, I should call Rob. Gee, I should call Rob. Gee, I should call Rob. That's something that, so how you handle it, I think, again, is a very personal thing.
Correct.
Do you trust your intuition? do not trust your intuition. Is everything intuition, or some things are just, again, your anxiety playing up? And I know the difference about how I feel in my gut and in my head. If I'm getting a push, a lot of times my head will say one thing, but my gut will say something completely different, or vice versa. To me, that's intuition.
Yes.
So,
And you're very right. And some of this, sometimes, it gets back to that. It's hard to explain. If you want to deal with this and you need to know it and you want to know how to deal with this one spirit, you got to work at it. You got to train. You got to practice. You got to start setting your mindset about, okay, when this spirit appears to me again, here's what I'm going to do. Here's what I'm going to say. These things. When I have this, because here's what happens. Everybody reacts differently. And the best way I can explain this is an old police work thing. Okay, many of y'all know I used to be a cop years ago. All right. And one of my partners, we actually went to high school together. I thought he was one of the strongest cops I knew. Not strong, but up here. Okay. We went to a bank robbery some incident happened. It might have been a shooting or a murder, attempted murder or whatnot. He didn't handle it well, but didn't know it. He was very upfront. Everybody thought, oh, okay, boom, boom, boom. Within 24 hours, we're responding to an actual armed bank robbery. I am in the left lane of a 2-lane street, passing him on the left because he is over in the dirt. And I'm looking at him from car to car, and he just looks white as a sheet. We get there. What I'm getting at is 2 days later, he resigned. All right. Why the military trains like they do is to make yourself get into a habit of how this happens. And you need to train spiritually if you're going to do this so you can be ready when it hits. And I'm like, what are you doing? He said, you come to work praying every day that this shit happens. I come to work every day praying nothing ever happens. And I'm like, oh, okay. And that's when it hit me. Just because you act one way one time doesn't mean it didn't have a mental effect on you and you're going to act the exact same way again. He went into complete panic mode and virtually rendered himself useless. Okay. I admired him. I love him. Will always love him. He stood up and said, nope, not doing this anymore. I'm putting people in jeopardy. And he stepped away. When you're dealing with this and you sense things, and this is starting to open up, a lot of times a door is opening. You need to start practicing. You need to start setting these patterns into place, building protective, knowing what's going on so you can understand and know the difference between, oh, a presence just came over me, or a duck just walked across my grave. What's wrong? Once you start training yourself to learn, you'll know how to react and those type things. So again, it gets back to that. If this is what you want, it's okay, but make sure you're knowledgeable about what you're trying to do. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah. I mean, I went to those development classes. What was it? 2 years ago, you remember?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
The activities that I had to do were very interesting, and they involved, doing things blindfolded and letting your intuition, guide you, or, sending somebody a picture of somebody and letting them. That was one of our exercises. We had to exchange pictures of people that the other person never saw before. So I didn't give them a picture of Bruce. I gave them, a picture of somebody else. And we had to do We have to look at that picture and write down all the feelings we got, all the gut feelings we got, and what came over us. And so when we say that you have to work on it, it's that type of thing. You've got to sort of build, you got to exercise that muscle.
Yeah. And that's that trust in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to go right next. Seriously, 822, great question. I'm going to get to Andrew first because Andrew has been hanging in here. Hang in there, baby. Friday's coming. But we're going to keep going here for a minute because these are great questions. Are you okay to go for a little bit, Brigitte?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm okay right now. So Andrew says, I believe there's a spirit angel around me as well. Phantom raindrops, finding white feathers, repeating numbers, etc. What messages are she, he, they trying to convey to me? So let's do this. Let's ask directly. What is the message? I feel like there's something in a past relationship with an older person or whatnot that you're not letting go of, and they want you to know it's all okay. Let it go. Okay? They're happy, they're good, and their love is there for you. All right? I'm really feeling that very strong, but I'm going to pull some cards and ask Spirit to find out what those messages are. Wow. I feel like the Spirit is right here with me.
Yeah, my hair, the hair on my arms.
Yeah, no, the whole.
I'm like getting all jittery. I was looking to see if maybe I had an oracle deck, a better, or that would close by, that would maybe give a better response. But
yeah,
I did pull 2 cards.
Go ahead.
I got the 3 of Wands and the Lovers. So it's funny you should talk about the relationship, right? And the 3 of Wands. So when you look at my 3 of Wands, I don't know if you guys can see it, but he's standing there watching his ships go back and forth in a harbor. And he's waiting on something. And he's either waiting for a ship to come in or whatever it is he's waiting on. Typically, I say you're waiting for your ships to come in when I see this. But I think what this is you've got a relationship that you are that whenever this person passed you, it was something unresolved, and you've been waiting. It's been holding you back. You've been sort of in a waiting pattern. And I think that person maybe is trying to tell you that you need to kind of move past the waiting and resolve whatever that issue is that you guys, that I definitely get that it's a relationship with unresolved issues, and it's got you sort of stuck.
Yeah. Tied knot.
Yeah. And let's see, what's this that just fell out? And the sun, I think. Yeah. So I think they're trying to tell you it's all right. Like whatever happened in their life or while they were around, it's okay. It doesn't matter anymore. And it's okay for you to move forward and be comfortable and be happy. It's okay. And I think that's the message. It's okay for you to let go of this situation and move forward. And I think that's, the sun is indicative of that. Be happy, be joyful. I mean, this kid is riding a white horse naked, decked out in flowers.
There we go. Only thing that's missing is the sprinklers. Woohoo!
And he's he's living large.
Let me show you this, because this might even be a past relationship where the person hasn't even passed over, and your spirit guides might be saying, stop carrying around the guilt, stop carrying around the worry, stop. either make amends or let it go. Okay. Because ironically, she had the 3 of fire, which are wands and fire, same thing. I have the 4.
Yeah.
Meaning from the 3 that's sitting around watching, it's time to live life and be happy. From what Brigitte said, be happy. It is time to get out of this and for you to live. Now, in this good tarot, because this is, I changed decks, it changes the whole meaning of this reading and what some of these cards mean. We have the Hanged Man. Start looking up and see the sun and stop looking behind. Okay? It's okay. It doesn't matter who's right, who's wrong. Release this connection. Okay? If the person is passed away and that is them, I know there are, okay. Obviously this is them because somebody is just, man, whoa, okay, I get it. Back up, please. All right. And I'm really getting male presence in this. Okay. Male presence. All right. Look at this. Change your perspective. It doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is love. Start looking here. This didn't work out. You know what? When everybody gets back to wherever we're going, you'll be able to work it out and try some different things again. Okay. Ultimately here, think about what you said. Raindrops, finding white feathers, repeating numbers. This person is letting you know it's time to manifest some peace in your life. Stop worrying about it. Let it go. They are no longer worried about it. It doesn't matter. Funny thing happens when I do connect with spirits. We find out that things we thought were important on this plane, they don't matter on the next plane. They're totally irrelevant. Okay? And this is very important if that's what they're trying to tell you to do. Let it go. Everything's okay. Start over and move forward. Okay? Peace, raining doves, white feathers. That rain is coming down and it's time for you to manifest some wonderful peace in your life, in your conscious thought. Wow. Okay. Bangarang. Doesn't get any more bangarang-ish than that, I don't think. So,
Yeah, no joke.
We'll do a couple more here and find out what's going on. That was huge. And here we go. You know what? I think on the deja vu question, come back. We're going to talk about that one at another time. Okay. But I definitely got some answers for you. Okay. But there's 2 of your questions done. Now you got to come back. Okay. If you all have time, can you tell me what message I'm supposed to be receiving right now? Very bad feeling. I know you've been worried a lot. I've been picking that up, that there's something, I almost feel like some fear has gotten in there. So let's find out what's going on for Cynthia. And we will always have time for you, Cindy. Okay. See, I did it right. Okay. All right.
I'm switching decks again.
Message I'm supposed to be receiving right now. Very bad feeling.
Switching decks again.
Okay.
I'm switching to my ominous deck.
Your ominous. I almost changed to a shadow work deck.
Yeah, I've got the any means necessary deck going right now.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. This is kind of crazy. I'm going to pull out another deck too. I'm going to leave these cards out. All right. I'll get started while you're shuffling because some of this I'm like, okay, what is it? All right. Before, let me get over here. All right, Miss Cindy, here we go. I start with the 4 of water. Okay. And then I have the 4 of earth. But then I have the 6 of fire, breaking free. What I'm getting, this 4 of water, is about establishing something good, a very strong emotional base. But I feel like something great is trying to be created, but there's something deep down in this emotional thing that you're not able to get through. All right. It's like you're waiting for the next shoe to drop. Enjoy what's here right now. Okay. The Four of Earth. Again, get back. Has something kind of shaken you off your pedestal of strength, grounding, things like this? Because the Four of Earth is talking about it's okay to separate yourself from other people and get grounded again and find out. There's a victory to be had here. There's something you've got to go through that's going to be involving, it's going to be emotional, and it's going to be involving the world around you, but it's going to be involving other people. Okay. So there are some things that are happening, but you have to be steady on your feet to be able to handle it and see it that you're coming through. The Six of Fire, that Six of Wands, that victory, that breaking through, breaking free, it's all going to be okay. Now, I'm going to let Brigitte go, and then I am going to go over to the other deck.
Okay, so I got Three of Cups, Ace of Wands, Three of Swords, Hierophant, Eight of Cups. So a bunch of cards fell out while I was doing this. I don't usually do 5 cards, but I had some jumpers. So I am. On this deck, if you'll notice, this Three of Cups, you've got 3 people here. Typically, a Three of Cups is a card of celebration. But if you look at this girl right here in the middle, she is miserable. They are celebrating without her. Something is happening that she is not happy, right? Something is happening where you're feeling very, very hurt, left out, dejected. This Three of Swords is definitely, indicative of that something is hurting you. Something has hurt you, and you need to move forward with it. Which is telling me by the Eight of Cups, right? There's something you've got to leave behind and walk away from, and then you've got this Ace of Wands and this Hierophant. So yeah, I think definitely something going on with some people that are close to you, and I can't particularly tell you what specifically, but I do believe that your feeling is right. But I think with the Hierophant, you're going to be all right. Because the Hierophant is so knowledgeable, and he's very, and your Ace of Wands, there's just a new passion coming behind it. You're going to be able to handle it. You've got the wherewithal to deal with whatever it is happening. The issue is just that you have to deal with it. Whatever's going on. There's definitely something going on. So if you've got some people that, in your world that you feel like maybe aren't on the up and up, maybe you need to kind of tune a little more into that and see where that takes you.
Absolutely. And I went to an actual chakra deck. Okay. Let me see if I can find out the name of this deck. I'm what I was getting pulled to begin with. Chakra Insight and Oracle. So you can see that by Karen Sangster. I got pulled on this one, Cindy, and let's see what happens. There's the box. I love this deck. I don't use it as much as I probably should. I use it more in my private life than I do here. But ironically, when we look at what we've got here, the first thing we have is the heart chakra. Okay. And it's desire, fun, fulfillment, joy. It's passion. Are you bringing passion into your life? Are you learning to live? Are you dancing when you should dance? Are you spending too much time worried about the next thing that's going to fall? And I'm really feeling that heavy. That next shoe drop, waiting for the next shoe to drop. I really feel like that's something very heavy. The solar plexus chakra is saying where they want you to focus. Remember, solar plexus root, I am. Then we move up to the sacral, I feel. and then you go to the solar plexus, I do. This is where you're taking action. This is where you're moving. What are you doing about it? Ironically, this is this card is a 15, 1 and 5. This 1 and 5 comes together for a 6 to me, which is that breakthrough. We can't get through this without taking some action. So some of this has worry become a habit. You know, one of those things. And so all you can do is ask people straight up, everything okay? Everything okay? Everything okay? But at some point, if everybody's telling you everything's okay, you've done all you can do. You turn around and now your action is to take and say a prayer, light a candle, and let spirit and those people have their way. It is in your nature to worry, okay, and to care. You are a very caring, loving, nurturing, giving person. And right now, I want you to visualize taking care of yourself. This third eye chakra, okay, visualization. I want you to start helping to visualize that everything's okay, putting that energy out there to everybody, and that you're going to clear it, you're going to help it out, and all of your friends, all of your loved ones, and everything, light a purple candle, okay? Get that amethyst going, whatever it may be, okay? But this visualization and the crown chakra here, okay, what I say, third eye chakra, crown chakra, all right, is understanding that now you can connect your third eye chakra with this and get a clear picture and be able to move forward. That's really what I'm getting. Focus on the solar plexus. What action should you take? You're trying to be proactive and almost a little defensive. And in that, that's where it's starting to have a negative aspect. Love your worry, love your caring, but sometimes all you can do is say, Spirit, take care of them all. I love, if they need me, they'll call me. In the meantime, let's dance, baby. Let's dance. Live life. Don't live your life worrying about it. Okay? Does that make sense? You know where I'm coming from with that. So let's do this. All right, I think we're going to do one more. Just one more is all I can do right now. I'm kind of running out of gas. Ellen, if you'll come back on Friday, I'll be here. And Friday night, I will have Hillis Pugh with me. We're not doing any topics or anything else. We're just reading. He's going to do
Hillis is going to read?
Hillis is going to read.
Is he going to read cards, or is he going to do?
He's going to do the Hillis thing. He's going to channel whatever comes through.
Wow, it's been a long time since he's done that.
Yeah, and then what I got to do is get Becky and you and Hillis, and we ought to come on and have a power night. You know?
Oh my God!
Yeah.
I don't know if everybody. I think that's a whole lot of personalities to put in one place at the same time.
Yeah, it is. But everybody, we did this once or twice before. It was really good, but we tried to make sure everybody did a reading on one person. And guess what? We need to just let it come through, and whatnot. But it would be fun if we could get it right. It would be fun. So, finally, for our last question, seriously, 822. My question is, how do we know if our thoughts are ours or spirit? Man, I've talked about this a lot. This is where you have to slow down, and this is where, we use the term mindfulness now, and it's been polluted. Oh, mindfulness, I'm practicing mindfulness or whatnot. And mindfulness has been around for centuries. It's about being present. What Confucius taught. It's what Jesus taught. It's amazing. And once you can sit down and start being clear, then that is when you can hear voices, when you learn to focus. Use your coffee. Brigitte and Bruce gave me this beautiful crystal ball. I keep it covered up, everything else. One of the things, I don't bring it out as much as I should because I'm afraid I'm going to break it. I value it so much because they gave it to me. But when you can sit and allow your mind to just be and then allow things to come in, you will hear the difference between your thoughts and spirit's thoughts. Because spirit's thoughts will not be addled and all jumpy and all this, okay? your thoughts are. All
I
right.
find that when I get those like that chattering in my brain from spirit, they use different language than I would use also. My words, my vernacular, the things, the way I speak, the message comes in differently. You know what I mean? It comes in using maybe, different words. Like, if I say, just it comes in differently.
Right.
And I think they do it on purpose for me so that I can say, I would never phrase something like that, or I would never use that terminology. So that's how I kind of know that it's definitely coming from somewhere else.
Intuition and guidance, they are two different things, but they will use your intuition for guidance, if that makes any sense at all. Okay. They kind of cross back and forth. Intuition, and I hate saying the gut thing, but it is a gut thing. It's one of those things where when you're like,
I'm not going to that party tonight.
Yeah, something just doesn't feel right. I'm not going. You may never hear anything bad happen, but by you removing yourself from it, it may have removed the bad thing that was going to happen. Not that you're bad, okay, but something spiritually didn't trigger, okay?
Or that feeling of, you know what? Time to jet. Gotta go. See ya.
Yeah.
And 5 minutes after you're gone, the cops have raided the place, right?
Yeah. You know what? When you're making a sale, when you're buying something, all right, and you can't come to peace over it, all right, when you can literally say, you know what, I'm going to walk away from this, especially when it's something you want, okay, something's out of sync here, and I don't know what it is. That's intuition. But at the same time, that intuition is trying to guide you into making the correct decision. Doesn't mean you don't come back later. All right. And what's funny is I hate my phone. I despise my phone. I'm ready to throw it off a bridge, start completely over. Whatever Samsung did with their last upload, I don't even have a flashlight anymore. I can't turn my volume down without going to it. They just obliterated my phone without my permission. I'm going back to an iPhone. And I literally tried to go in there today and buy a new phone. The guy was too busy with other people while he's waiting on me. Hey, let me grab this guy real quick. Okay. And finally, I just scooped up my stuff and I said, I tell you what, it came to me, stop rushing. You're doing something out of an emotional thing. I'm getting pissed because I'm just as important as everybody else around there.
Right.
And spirit came to me and used my intuitions as a guidance of that. Just in my gut, something's not right. Guess what? If something's not right, I'm going to step away. Hey, bro, I'll talk to you later. We'll figure this out. Go ahead and help this young man over here. And he was kind of taken aback that I would just do that and be nice about it. Okay. Yes, Bruce, I was nice about it.
Can we get some help over here?
Yeah. But, and I did. I just walked out. Why? Do I still like my phone? No. Has anything changed? No. But I had the sudden feeling that this was spirit telling me something's wrong.
Yeah.
So it was guidance just to step away from the situation. All right. And I think that's the difference. Hunches, gut feelings, when you listen to them, when you don't. I'm not talking about lottery numbers. I'm not talking about stupid stuff. Okay. But when you make something and before you serve it to somebody you don't know, you go, hey, it's got nuts in it. Oh, I'm glad you told me. Okay. Because I have a nut allergy. Well, then they don't need to be around me. But at the same point, that's that thing of, oh, thank God I told you. That's your intuition. All right. These are things. And you know what? Everybody's born with it. I laugh. I'm going to give you a little psychology lesson. All right. Everybody says we need to stop stereotyping people, stereotyping things. Guess what? I got news for the world. Scientifically, that will never happen. Why? Stereotyping, and this is, I'm telling you, this is science, you can check it out or whatnot, is a mechanism that our brain uses because it can't store so much individual data, so it starts lumping things into a stereotype.
Yeah.
Okay. And it helps you in fight or flight. It helps you in your intuition, in your gut. You know, the last time I did this, you want to kill a sale with me? Look at me and go, hey, it's got to be now or never. Never. Done. Bye. See ya. Stereotype. Anytime somebody told me that I got to do it now, it never worked out. So in stereotype, you can tell me that, but Rob, I was offering you $1 million. Might be, but if I got to make the decision right now, nope. Okay. And that's where you got to remember we are spiritual beings having a human experience. And we can only deal with this mind, this body, this gut in the best way we can. That makes sense, Bridget?
It does. It does. I mean, you know, yeah, there are just some things that throw up red flags, you know.
Yeah.
That spidey sense starts tingling.
Look at relationships. How many times have you been in a relationship? I've been in a relationship. Other people, our friends, been in relationships, and the next thing you know, they're breaking up and they go, I should have seen the flags. Actually, you did. You ignored them.
We all saw them, you know.
Yeah, because you wanted something different. You let your physical being want something different than the spirit was trying to do. So, all right. So, wow, what a night. Long night tonight. Thank you all for being patient. We love each and every one of you. All right. Really, come back. And there's a reason you're supposed to come back on Friday night. And we're going to be with Hillis and things like that. We're going to have a great time. Bridget's already laughing because she knows this is going to be crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been a while since Hillis has read, like publicly read.
Yeah. So
a long time.
He's going to be doing some channeling and reading, and I'm going to be doing the cards. So make sure you come back or whatnot, and we will, we will get to it. But yes, and thank you, all. I appreciate it. Yes, it takes a toll on us, and I appreciate it. And I'm sorry it took so long to get to you, because you have been tried, true, and faithful, and I appreciate it. All right, so. Here we go. But with all that being said, everybody take what you want, leave what you don't, but leave having experienced some peace, love, and light. Bang.
Bang ring.